Well, let's start with the big story of the day, where U.S. President Donald Trump and Defense Secretary James Mattis seem to disagree over the policy of how to handle the North Korean missile crisis. Now, 2 days after Pyongyang fired a ballistic missile over Japan, Trump declared that dialogue is not the only answer to the standoff with North Korea over its nuclear development program. However, James Mattis, the Defense Secretary, has told the American media that diplomatic solutions can be used to tackle North Korea, and that is what the United States should rely on. Now, Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov has held a telephonic conversation with the U.S. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson and has suggested that the U.S. should refrain from any military action against in the Korean Peninsula, which could have unpredictable consequences, as the Russians have put it. Now, Lavrov has said that the Russians believe that any further sanctions against North Korea will be counterproductive for peace in the Korean Peninsula. Meanwhile, Japan has also urged for fresh sanctions against North Korea after its missile flew into the Japanese airspace. Now, remember, North Korea had launched an intermediate-range ballistic missile on Tuesday in response to the US and South Korean military conducting live military drills. Now, the 15-member UN Security Council had condemned the firing of the missile as outrageous and had demanded that North Korea should halt its weapons programs with immediate effect.
No, we're never out of diplomatic solutions. We continue to work together, and the minister and I share a responsibility to provide for the protection of our nations, our populations, and our interests, which is what we are here to discuss today, and look for all the areas that we can collaborate with. Already very strong collaboration. We always look for more. We're never complacent.
Meanwhile, the United States is also seeking concerted action on North Korea through sanctions. Now, the U.S. Disarmament Ambassador Robert Wood on Wednesday called for tough actions by the international community to pressurize North Korea into abandoning its missile programs by fully enforcing economic sanctions. Senior military officials from South Korea, Japan and the United States made lengthy technical presentations on North Korea's weapons program to the Geneva Forum.
Tightening the web of sanctions around North Korea, both through UN measures and autonomous steps, we aim to increase significantly the cost of North Korea's weapons programs, reduce the resources available to support its WMD proliferation activities, and impede its ability to acquire dual-use technology.